power forward than Tim Duncan.
One better what?
Power forward, yes, the Tim Duncan.
I might.
There isn't one. It's impossible. You might not do anything.
Might be with you and go two.
Two what?
Swade, I got 4.
You have what?
4 what?
I got 4 better.
I'm confused. 4 what?
4 better power forwards. I just want to make sure. This has nothing to do with accomplishments.
You sure there's not forwards?
Nope. Basketball player. I'm talking about as a better power forward. You guys ready? Can I cook? Man, and I'm gonna convince you guys.
You're
and I'm
gonna burn the fucking kitchen. But go ahead.
First, better power forward. Kevin Garnett is a better player than Tim Duncan. Guys, he's a better offensive basketball player, and he's also just as good defensively. And let's just make this very clear, because I know everybody's going to bring up the accomplishments, even though I said this is not what it's about. Kevin Garnett had to play with the Timberwolves, one of the worst franchises ever. Tim Duncan was on the Spurs, who constantly always made sure that Tim Duncan had great teams around him.
Arguably,
this is already tough. I don't know where you're going to find 3 more from.
Okay, I got your guy here. Giannis is a better power forward than Tim Duncan. He's just a better player.
I mean, those are my 2.
Guys, let me just make this very clear. Tim Duncan has never reached the peaks offensively that Giannis has ever has. He's more versatile too.
I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Yes, man. This is ridiculous, man.
Success as a team is more successful than LeBron. I got 6 rings. Individual accolades, or you want championships? Because I didn't chase mine.
This is another episode of Goats Have Antlers. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, do as I say. Anyways, welcome to another episode. So, basketball talk has a little problem. It has a big problem. It's not just the whole stupid ass GOAT debate. No, it's just not that. It's part of it, but not all of it. People like myself and other channels similar to mine have a big issue on our hands. And that issue is we have goofballs with YouTube channels making videos just saying the most wildest of things. I'm not gonna name these channels that much because I don't want to give hype to them, but we got some people on here that getting 32,000 subscribers, 34, whatever, how many they got, just out there telling the most egregious lies they can possibly tell to the kids, to the youth, to the impressionable youth who really don't know anything about history. See, you got here is a bunch of goofball LeBron fans out here making up stuff like, oh, Michael Jordan had more help than LeBron James. When I heard that a couple weeks ago, I couldn't do nothing but laugh, because that's further from the truth. When Ray Allen, I just did a video on Ray Allen. When Michael Jordan was drafted to the Bulls in '84, right? He ain't that much on there. He ain't that much help. He had no help, right? Right. I had to say this. I hate to say this. But for people like Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, just to name a few, they got on teams that already had established stars, or was going to have established stars. Like Tim Duncan already had David Robinson there. Kobe was drafted. Shaq just was sent there from Orlando, right? Michael Jordan didn't have that. Michael Jordan didn't have no help against the Boston Celtics in '86. And by the time Pippen got there, he had to train Scottie, especially Horace Grant as well, not to leave him out. But he had to train them had to get them to his level, his program, before they was able to do anything, before they became champions. This whole Michael Jordan had more help thing It's crazy because I do recall Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. And then maybe Tony Kukoc. Because he is a Hall of Famer, but his Hall of Fame status is a little bit different from the other two. His was because it's international. Because I think he's also an international in the FIBA Hall of Fame as well. I might be wrong about that, but I thought he was as well. So, those are 3 Hall of Famers that he played with. Didn't play with Dennis Rodman all 6. Didn't play with Tony Kukoc all 6. Didn't do that. And if these dudes really was sitting there trying to lie and get views and money and all this stuff for YouTube, like they try to accuse us of, they would know that half the time Scottie Pippen was NIA. Or, I say NIA? MIA. Well, it could be the same thing. Nothing in action, missing in action. Sometimes Scottie Pippen was barely there. So, this whole help thing is stupid. And if we want to really break it down, how many All-Stars? Well, you can't even count BJ Armstrong or Horace Grant. So there weren't that many All-Stars either. And yes, there was Robert Parrish, George Gervin. Yeah. Artis Gilmore. Yeah. But those guys were at the end of their careers. And I don't even think Robert Parrish made it throughout the whole entire season. But I think he was awarded a ring when he played there with the Bulls. So that don't count. So where's all this help at? I do not recall Michael Jordan played with Charles Barkley. I do not recall Michael Jordan played with Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, Grant Hill, John Starks on his team. I do not recall that happening. So, lies. Another one is always crazy. Scottie Pippen was better than Michael Jordan. If that was so, then Scottie Pippen should have won a championship in 94, right? Or at least got to the finals in 94, right? Right. Should have got to the finals in 2000 against the Lakers, right? But they tell stupid ass lies like that. Scottie Pippen better than Michael Jordan. If that was contradict themselves. If that was the case, then Michael Jordan was playing his ass off in '98 to get that championship. Goofy. Crazy. You know what's another lie too? Jordan had no competition. That's the most hilarious one. Jordan had no competition. He had no competition, huh? So he just cruised on by. He had no competition in the 90s, huh? He cruised on by, huh? He had no competition. He should have been sweeping everybody, right? He should have swept the Los Angeles Lakers, the first one. Should have swept the Portland Trailblazers. Should have swept the Phoenix Suns, who everybody thought was the better team, and was the favorite. Should have swept them Seattle Supersonics. Should have swept the Utah Jazz in '97. Should have swept them again. Right? Michael Jordan should have been winning MVPs every year, right? No competition, right? But Karl Malone won one. Charles Barkley won one during that time. Right? Right. See, these guys just get on here and just tell all kinds of stupid ass lies. There's more I can't think of right now. I should have wrote these things down. I'm just thinking the most egregious ones. Like the Jordan had no competition, even though I guess Patrick Ewing's no competition. I guess Charles Barkley's no competition. I guess Karl Malone and John Stockton's no competition. I guess Clyde Drexler's no competition. And all these guys I just named, Hakeem, have tons of accolades themselves. I know Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, and John Stockton and Patrick Ewing don't have rings. I know that. But it was part of the top 50 in 96. It was part of the top 75 just 4 years ago. No competition. Shaq. Not to forget him. Shaq. Anthony Hardaway. Grant Hill. No competition. Oh, no competition. Connects with all the teams weren't good. He played in an expansion era. Even though there's been countless videos by now about not just me, but other content creators. Content creators out there just putting all types of content disproving. That's it, disproving. But absolutely annihilating that whole stupid ass lie of Jordan played in the easy era when it was a whole bunch of expansion teams. It was garbage. When there was in 96 and 97 season, in the East at least 10 teams were well above 500. There was at least 6 teams that won 50 or more games. There was a 6th seed out there that won 50 games. That may have been the Charlotte Hornets and New York Knicks. I think it was Charlotte Hornets. They won like 54 games. So what are your Nimrods talking about? The Orlando Magic, the Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, all teams that came in an expansion era in '89, all were in the playoffs within 1, 2, 3, 4 years of their birth. Minnesota Timberwolves, I don't count them because they played in the West. Technically, at one point in time, Orlando did play in the West. Some people don't know that. But Orlando did play in the West. But Minnesota, even them, you know, they're in the West, were in the playoffs years out there. They entered into the league. So there was always competition. There had to be competition if you got teams out here winning 54 games at a 6th seed. So what are you talking about? What you talking about? These dudes are sickening, man. They get on these platforms, on YouTube, whatever, and tell these tall tales. I think another one I heard was Scottie Pippen is better than Dwayne Wade. Now, stuff like that, man. Stuff like that. And then the funny thing about it, they propped up Scottie Pippen to be better than Michael Jordan. And then once Scottie Pippen said, oh, I'm better than LeBron because I got 6 rings. I got mine out the mud. He didn't. Oh, the tables are turned now. Now they want to go against Scottie Pippen. Saying all kinds of dumb stuff. These dudes, man. These dudes will do anything for $1. Lie for $1. And get on here and tell these lies and fool these children. Wilt was a myth. Wilt Chamberlain was a myth. He never scored 100 points. Now this is getting towards some of the people that are not on YouTube. That was LeBron James that said that. They was back then was a bunch of plumbers and firemen. That was JJ Redick talking about Bob Cousy, who he played against, which Bob Cousy took offense to. You know, they act like the 70s. They act like the 60s, 50s, 70s, 60s don't exist anymore. Everything started in 1980, and it's getting worse. But next thing you know it, the 90s gonna get cut off, and they gonna start calling Jordan a myth. And Jordan was a myth. He never existed. He never existed, but Jordan just won another NASCAR race down in Charlotte. Stuff like that, man. They did it with Babe Ruth. They did it with Wilt Chamberlain because, not to get off the top of their basketball, but I just recall maybe about a week or 2 weeks ago, It was the Chicago Cubs outfielder, Pete Crow Armstrong, talking about, oh, I don't know if Babe Ruth even existed. I hope the ghost of Babe Ruth haunts you. And I hope the Cubs implode. Go Brewers. But stuff like that, man. And these kids hear it and they use it in an argument for some reason. Act like we don't know what happened. Not to say that I was around when Babe Ruth was around, but it's the current stuff. They try to lie and say, oh, this happened. I sat there and watched it, you dumb nuts. Oh, LeBron never choked in 2011. I watched it. I have watched it countless times. It's on YouTube. Goofy stuff like that, man. But I'm so sick and tired of these freaking LeBron fans that got these channels, man. They just telling lies to prop up their boy, because they know one of the reasons why, well, the absolute reason why they keep doing it, because they know they're in a losing battle. They know they're in a losing battle. The biggest one that gets me, that Jordan had more help than LeBron. As LeBron joins another super team in Philadelphia, with probably, maybe, future Hall of Famers and maybe Jaylen Brown and Joel Embiid, with another All-Star Tyrese Maxey and an up-and-comer in VJ Edgecombe. But now they trying to find ways, oh, that's not a super team. You guys didn't consider that to be a super team before that. Technically, we did. Once they got Jaylen Brown, I was like, oh, shoot. They going places now. Joel Embiid's knees held up. That's Joel Embiid, Maxey, Jaylen Brown. That's your starting three right there. I don't know if Edgecombe's going to start, but if he does and put some whoever else is going to, that's going to be a nice team. Now you got this big, dumb, bearded, Abe Lincoln cash register, bow-legged mother trucker coming over there, messing up the flow, messing up team flow. Hey guys, how you doing? I'm here to join your team. Now he gonna mess up everything they had planned. But anyways, this season, as much as I'm gonna despise this upcoming season, this season is gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be absolutely funny seeing LeBron fail with the 76ers. It's gonna be funny watching Giannis fail with the Miami Heat, because it is gonna happen. It's gonna be funny, man, in the East. All these dudes jumping to super teams and build their super teams and failing. But back to the original topic at hand. Yeah, these liars, man. These liars, they gots to go. They gots to go. I wish there was a way to, fact check them and get them off YouTube, but I guess freedom of speech would be the same if we did that, because they'll try to do that to us. But even though what we say on YouTube is actually accurate and correct, unlike them. And lastly, another one that bothers me is recently I just made a video about it. This numbnuts try to act like Kobe Bryant was a bus rider the whole entire time. Kobe was a sidekick. They call somebody a sidekick to average 30 points a game. I do recall that at times teams like to put Shaq in the hacker shack, and Shaq had to be taken out. And what Kobe had to do, come in there and bust everybody's ass. I do recall Kobe being the leader of the Lakers in the late 2000s. I know it was not Paul Gasol. But Paul Gasol had more rebounds. So? Did Paul Gasol have average more points than Kobe Bryant? No. And they did the same thing with Giannis in the 2021 NBA Finals, trying to say Chris Middleton should have been MVP, or is the best player, Chris Middleton's Batman to Giannis being Robin. That dumb stuff, man. But anyways, man, the more I talk, the more I get angry, because these dudes absolutely just make up stuff and lie. I hate liars. But anyways, this has been an episode of Goats Have Antlers. Subscribe to the channel.